Hello again from Cancun, Mexico, at the ruins of El Rey. These ruins are literally on the hotel strip of Cancun. It's always amazing to me, the lack of tourists. I mean, there are literally tens of thousands of people staying right behind this pyramid along the hotel strip, and there's no one else here. It is me and my sister and my mom who's sitting in the front because it is brutally hot. It is so hot that even all the iguanas that call this place home are hiding out in the shade. So I don't have a whole lot of energy in me in this extreme heat and humidity. But this site is pretty damn impressive. There's actually more ruins here than I expected there to be. It's kind of similar to El Meco, which was in a previous video of mine. The one kind of difference to El Meco is that these ruins are a straight line. You enter in the south end of the city of El Rey, which was not the original name, and you walk up north to basically end here at this pyramid behind me. And it's a pretty short walk, but there's absolutely no shade on the site unless you're walking along the tree line on the edge. This city, like all the other Mayan cities kind of in this region, even down to Tulum, the ruins here are late classic period Mayan ruins. Though the city itself extended back into like the early classic period around 300-400 AD, the ruins we have left here are from the late classic, so around 1300-1400 AD, pretty much until, like Tulum, the Spaniards came and kind of started killing off all the Mayans and conquering this area, in which point this city, along with all the other ones nearby, were abandoned and let nature take them over. It wasn't until relatively recently, within the last 30, 40, 50 years, that this site has really started to become reconstructed and reassembled from the ruins that they were. There's not a whole lot of information that has been found here, but what they believe is that during the early periods of this city, during the early classic periods, this was really just a fishing village, similar to El Meco, which was in my previous video, and it wasn't kind of abandoned over several hundred years before giving birth again from the Mayans coming from the inland to the coast. And that's when the city grew to what we kind of see here now, which was a trading port for largely fish, and then importing external supplies like obsidian, jade, things like that that the Mayans used regularly. This was believed to be one of the most important cities here in the Cancun area for the Mayans in the late period, and it actually, a large chunk of it was destroyed, sadly, when they constructed, I'm blanking on the name of this road here right now, Kukulkan, the main road for Cancun. When they constructed that, large portions of this city were very likely destroyed forever, and it kind of cut the city in half to where we're going next after this site of San Miguelito. I might be saying that wrong, but I'll put it down on the screen when we get over there. And that's kind of an extension, a northern extension of this city. The late classic portion of this city, they believe, was largely a royalty city. Basically, the rich lived here. And I believe it was under this pyramid, this main pyramid, they have actually found a burial of one of the rulers, buried with some weapons and jewelry and things like that, which is one of the reasons they believe that it is a ruling city. Due to the fact that the Spaniards kind of destroyed all the Mayan writing, all their books, all of that, there really isn't a whole lot more known about this place. Other than that, it's definitely worth a freaking stop. And it is home, like El Meco, to countless numbers of iguanas. I don't know if it's purely because it is so hot today, or if there aren't. Oh my god, look at this giant one right here. As I was saying before, I was completely shocked by this gigantic iguana right here, and I had to take some photos of him sitting there because he is huge, and I doubt he's coming through on camera how actually big he is. I don't want to get too close to him and annoy him because he's cool, but I'm going to put my arm down right here with him right back there to kind of give an example. I mean, he is as big as my arm. That's a large iguana in comparison with this little one right up here. just a tiny little guy. But like I was saying, this site's kind of known to be home to hundreds or maybe even thousands of iguanas. And I saw one back there earlier that was actually inside under the stairs of one of the temples. It was really cool. He was just kind of chilling out in there. He was probably equal size to that large one there, or maybe even bigger. But it doesn't seem like I'm seeing as many of them out here as we're at El Meco. But still quite a few. And can get some cool photos of them. See one of them scaling the wall and hanging out up here. Let me see if I can give you a shot of him. But yeah, we pretty much have reached the northern end of this portion of the city. So I think I might end up leaving you here and trying to cool myself off with some water. And then we're going to head over to San Miguelito and the museum over there. So I will see you guys over there and let my GoPro take a breather because it's so freaking hot. See you guys at San Miguelito. Well, hello from my Airbnb. It's actually the next day because it was just so hot when we were walking around those ruins of El Rey. I think I got my body temperature up to one of the hottest it's ever been, and we decided to come back here and swim for a bit to cool off, and then a massive storm hit. They were actually walking down the beach blowing whistles to get everybody out of the ocean right before it hit. And then today, when we were supposed to go and get our teeth finished up, my sister got her final extraction, and I was supposed to get my crowns put on my implants over here. But it turned out that they needed to do a little more work to prep them for the crowns. So between the pain I was in and my sister was in, we weren't up to going to the ruins today, and I'm going tomorrow to finish off my crowns. But that means that the only ruins that are going to be in this video were the El Rey ones. And if you've watched it all and you haven't already, hit the like button down below, subscribe, and stay tuned for future adventures, whatever they may be on my channel.